Podcast in the land with your three hosts from the group Interby 64, CC, and from Not Just Country, Hype Man Rick. And of course, the third host, who's not even a real host, that's me, Pete Wade. Nobody knows why I keep coming back, but I just come on and invite myself, eat a bunch of food, and come to the best podcast anywhere, folks. It's Firepit Friday.
Hey everybody, this is Cece from Entropy 64.
And your boy Hype Man Rick of Not Just Country.
How you doing tonight, Rick?
I'm good, man. The first Fire Pit Friday live here at Fuel, baby.
Ooh, and it's nice and warm by the fire.
You all can clap your hands.
Welcome everybody to the Fire Pit! Hey, I just want to let you know there's a couple of rules around the Fire Pit. They're very small, they're not that big. One of the rules is that you can't, because this is kind of like a little family friendly, you can't say anything like really, really bad that would be offensive, right? So we just got to be, like, when you get into your conversations, you just can't really. So everybody now just stand up and say the worst swear word that you've ever heard in your life and get it out of your system right now.
Motherfucking cunt.
Okay, and then no more. You can't say that. All right? You cannot say that word. All right. You can't say that word. That's kind of the beauty of the internet in a sense, is that, yeah, you can't say that word. All right, I want to start with Bernie. Bernie, hi. You are fantastic. Thank you so much for coming to Fire Pit Friday tonight. I just want to say thank you for warming up the crowd.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Now I'm going to pass the microphone around. We're going to pass it around. We're going to say who we are and who's actually at the Fire Pit tonight and what you do. Okay? And anybody else who wants to sit next to the fire pit, you can walk up at any time and sit around the fire pit. You are more than welcome. Starting with Bernard.
My name is Bernard Lachner. I'm from Austria. I moved to Nashville a year ago, and I play electric bass.
My name is Turk McNamara. I moved here back in 1995, and I've made a living playing Irish music. I'm a songwriter here in town, but Irish music pays the bills a bit more than the songwriting.
And you're playing tonight after Fire Pit, after
yes,
the interview?
Yes, I am. I'll be playing this evening as well. I'll be doing a lot of my own songs, but a few Irish songs in there for good measure too as well. So.
Mm-hmm.
How y'all doing? I'm Mike. I'm with The Running. I'm the lead singer and guitar player, and I'm just a white boy that likes reggae and all other walks of music. So that's how we roll.
Also, my name is Christ. I'm with The Running as well. I play bass and attempt to do backup vocals, but you know. And last but not least, for The Running.
I'm Andy. I play drums. That's about it.
I'm Hype Man. What?
Drama.
I'm Hype Man Rick, co-host of Fire Pit Friday. Executive producer of the TV show Not Just Country. Host of NashvilleRadio.biz Thursday night from 8 to 10. What else? Director of a new movie coming out. What else? I got so much going on. Oh, yeah. Also columnist for the NashvilleRadio.biz magazine and tour guide.
I can't follow that. I'm CC. I'm from the band Entropy 64. I'm host of Fire Pit Friday tonight, and I am loving every minute of it. And I'm so thankful that everybody's here supporting the Fire Pit.
I'm Sharif Aman, and I'm just happy to be here. I don't have all that stuff that you got. Although I can paint your house and drywall your house and lay tile if you want me to. I could do your plumbing.
Let's give it up. The man's being honest.
Now I am Chop Shop. Pretty much all I do is get on down people's nerves. That's about it.
And I am David. Hopefully, you can all call me D.I. Montana.
Heavyweight champion of the world? Heavyweight champion of the world.
He's my new friend.
Woo!
Trying to be anyway, but with my man Hype Man Rick, it's all good.
Well, welcome everybody tonight to the Fire Pit. And what we want to do is we want everybody here to learn a little bit more about yourself, why you do the music, why. We want to know why, what you're doing next, your next gig, what's going on, your fans, and you got to tell some groupie stories.
No problem.
I'm serious. You cannot leave this Fire Pit without groupie stories. All right, why are the running? The running. Why are you laughing?
Oh, we're getting ready for the groupie stories.
Well,
How long is the show?
Yeah, come on now. Everybody has them. All right, do you have any groupies here tonight?
Oh yeah.
Not yet.
They're
coming
come when it
later
gets
after the
dark,
show. Any at all?
Oh, don't worry, we have plenty to share.
You know what? Well, let's talk about how hard it is to incorporate your music and your relationships. How hard it is. Here you are working it hard. You're out there pushing the music, pushing what you're doing. Families, how many here have families at home that they're taking care of as well? Yeah, that is tough. That is tough. That is tough. So what are you doing? Are you guys single? You're up for
I'm the only single one in the group, so ladies, how you doing? All right. Andy and Mike have, well, let them speak for themselves.
Yeah, I got a girlfriend of 7 months now, and she was actually, it started out as a groupie story, so.
Really?
Yeah.
How'd you meet?
Don't worry about that.
Really? Really? Then
Yeah.
what happened?
Well,
You gotta talk in the microphone, otherwise nobody can hear what you're saying.
actually, I don't want to go into that story, but it's ended up good, so. Yeah.
All right, she may be listening. But you know, it is hard. It is hard. And Sharif, the last time I was talking to you, you were saying how difficult it was. Now you're a very handsome single guy. Why?
Oh my gosh.
Why are you trying to play the bus tonight? You trying to throw people under the bus?
No. He's interesting. I like listening to his story.
I just miss the whole relationship etiquette, I guess, growing up. I don't know. I just really love my music and I love what I do. And I just think a lot of times when you get in a relationship, I don't know what it is about musicians, but I guess there's this perception of a musician being like a rock star, and he wants all the girls and he wants all this, so that's what they automatically think of you, and then they automatically think that they're beneath or inferior, and then it just causes like a lot of problems on top of issues. So I
feel that.
just getting exhausted. Like, well, I write a lot of great music out of all of the destruction, but and thank you for telling me that I was good looking, and I mean, but whatever. I mean, I'm just happy to be here. But I think I don't know. It's just kind of crazy. I could go on forever. I could probably tell you about relationships, but I wouldn't be able to, because I've been through a lot of them, only because I don't seem to pick the right ones. But
they write good songs, don't they?
Well, I mean, good songs and out of it. But I just think that it's really hard, like when we were talking about last time, to be involved with somebody who's really involved in their careers and what they're doing, and understanding that. And in order, I think for somebody to be with a musician or be with anybody who's like that, they have to be really independent, and they really have to know who they are and be secure with that. Because if they're not, then it's just going to be like crazy. And you'll write lots of songs about it.
Yeah, same end to that. And that's hard. That's hard to do. Incorporating being an artist. Again, I say this all the time, but you guys are born with a gift, and if you don't do it, you will cease to exist. Something will happen. You must continue to create. So incorporating on both sides is very hard. Turk, I got a question for you. How did you get your name Turk? Turk.
Well, actually, I was born on Thanksgiving. That's the God's honest truth. I was born on Thanksgiving, and my father, God rest him, was a big fan of nicknames, and my given name is Sean Patrick McNamara, which helped at the Irish gigs, but Turk is always. I'm a firm believer in alter egos, by the way, because I am. Yeah,
I thought you were going to say, it's some Celtic tradition, and the name Turk has been passed down from grandfather to grandfather.
No, November is my favorite month. I love Thanksgiving. That's all it comes down to. It just has evolved
That's a
over
cool
the
name.
years. It's one of those names I think as I've gotten older I've grown into. But then again, when I was young, and I mean, I was given this name the day I was born, but it was Turkey. But
Turkey.
it just didn't seem to fit with the music business, so we shortened it to
Come
Turk,
here, you
and the
little
rest
turkey.
is
I wanna
history, as you
finish
say.
it. No,
You know?
his name is Turk. Turk McNamara.
Turk McNamara, that's it.
You were scaring him.
Oh, don't be afraid.
The man's
I
name is
promise.
Turkey.
I'm all right. I'm not going to scare you. Oh, it's all good, man. It's all good.
Now, for St. Patty's Day, we actually saw you out. You were playing out at Aubrey Mills.
At the Opryland Hotel. Yeah, I played 4 gigs on St. Patrick's Day. I started at 9 o'clock in the morning at the Moose Lodge on Charlotte Pike.
Uh-huh.
And then I played the Music City Bar and Grill from 11:30 to 1:30. And then I played Dan McGinnis from 2:30 to 6. And then I played Opryland Hotel from 8 to 12. Wow. I played,
Okay.
I played 15
Everybody,
hours
let's
on
give
St.
it up for
Patrick's
Turk's
Day.
wife. And she's beautiful, and you're expecting a baby, aren't
We
you?
are
Yes, you
imminently, yes, that's correct.
That's-
We've got a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old at home, and then we're expecting our third any day.
He's the one. Yes.
Turk is the one to talk to about the relationship because he's got a wife, she's pregnant with a baby, he's working, and she's awesome. You know, she's awesome.
She is awesome. And
Needle in the
she's here this evening, actually, and it's going to be the last chance well, maybe not, but I mean, when the baby comes, everything gets put on hold for a while, man.
Yeah.
So we're doing our best to spend as much time together as possible because
That's
these
right.
gigs are coming around. But
So-
I'm very lucky. I played 300 gigs a year playing Irish
300 gigs.
a year.
Oh my gosh.
I play
Wait,
6
there's
nights a week.
265 days in a year.
I play 6 nights a week. Wow. Between Opryland Hotel and Dan McGinnis Irish
All
Pub.
right. How do you do that? How do you do that? That's so. You're a hardworking guy.
That's smoking.
And I'm a big fan of whiskey. It's strictly medicinal, though. It has nothing to do with.
Now
I mean,
you
it's
don't
just-
get paid. You don't get paid with whiskey, no.
No, I don't. No, but I don't drink much. But there's nothing like one belt to get you going to start the evening. To be perfectly honest with you, you know. So.
Rick, were you going to say something?
Does it get stressful sometimes that you're not at home as much as you want?
Well,
to be?
I'm really lucky because I work nights. We get to spend a ton of time during the day. My son has started kindergarten, so, but up until this past year, we spend a lot of time together during the days. It's harder, I think, for my wife at home at night because she's got the 4 walls to keep her company while I'm out working. But as far as a family goes, it's all right. It's great. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the whole wide world.
You have
I'm
a
really,
wonderful
really
partner.
lucky.
You
I
have a
do.
wonderful
I'm really
partner.
lucky.
Yes.
She's extremely patient.
That is
with me.
awesome. Yes. That is great.
Well, I haven't. I'm gonna tell you right up front. I've never heard your music, but I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you, sir. I'm looking forward to playing it for you. I think you'll like it. It's fun. It's
If people want to go visit you, can they visit you on MySpace?
MySpace / Turk McNamara. Absolutely. And please feel free to look me up. I'd love for people to have a listen to what I'm doing. And if you take some of I grew up listening to a lot of the storytellers, you know, of like the Croce and that whole era, and then you add 12 years of singing Irish music and you meld the two, and that's kind of what my songs have evolved into. So I'm really big into stories, and I'm really big into to just trying to keep music as honest as absolutely possible.
You know, you can disagree with me if you would like, because I've heard mixed feelings about Celtic music and country music. There's very embedded roots
I mean,
in that.
country music and bluegrass music can take their roots directly from Irish music and the Scots music that came over to start. Absolutely. And I mean, they're folk songs. They're songs that were written to keep stories alive that weren't being written in the history books.
You know,
and that's kind of what the country.
true.
That's what the country music is, and folk music in general. That's what it's all about. It's an oral tradition. It wasn't written to be put onto album. It was written to keep stories alive that otherwise wouldn't succeed or continue.
So, like, who were some of your influences, coming up, or, well, B side of that? Was Celtic music always your favorite type of music?
No, I cut my teeth playing, doing the singer-songwriter stuff, like the Buffett and the Croce and the Chapin and stuff like that. And then my first job in town was waiting tables at Mulligan's down on 2nd Avenue, and I was waiting tables, and nobody would sing Danny Boy. And I said, I'll sing Danny Boy. I moved here for the music business. And the owner heard me sing. He goes, man, you got a good voice. You've learned 30 Irish songs. I'll put you on stage. And 2 weeks later, I walked in with my guitar. I said, I know 30 Irish songs. When do I start?
Good for
and
you.
12 years later, this is what I've done. But the likes of, in the Irish vein, the likes of Christy Moore and Paul Brady and Maura O'Connell. And Paul Brady and Maura O'Connell are here in Nashville on a fairly regular basis. And then you add just it's some of all the influences I've heard since I've moved to Nashville, and I've been really lucky to meet some phenomenal musicians out at the hotel, like Jeff Taylor and David Coe, who's actually going to be playing with me this evening on fiddle and mandolin, and it's a privilege, and I'm lucky. I love it.
I'm wondering, what's the most insane place you've ever played? You know, chicken wire in front of the stage, beer bottles flying, babies crying, hell, fire, brimstone, the whole nine.
The most unique venue I would have played will always be a St. Patrick's Day gig, and they're interchangeable.
Oh, yeah.
It's a sea of green and alcohol most of the time, to be perfectly honest with you. But Dan McGinnis this past year, Opryland Hotel this past year was a lot of fun. And it wasn't as crazy as other ones in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Mulligan's has been nuts in the times past, but most of my gigs are local, so I haven't done a lot of traveling outside of Nashville. But I would have to say the St. Patrick's Day experience is one that should be beheld from stage because it's an unbelievable sight.
Oh, I can imagine. Obviously, you know, you got the folk background and what have. Who, if you could do a compilation with anybody, living or dead, at any point in history, who would it be?
That's a really hard question.
I know, that's why I ask it.
Probably Jim Croce. Jim Croce.
Jim Croce,
Yeah,
there we go.
man,
He didn't say Prince, Rick.
No, to me, he was a master of telling a story in under 3 minutes and not missing a word.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was unbelievable stuff, some of those songs he wrote.
Excellent.
And he wrote all of them, like, in a really short period of time. He was killed so young, and unfortunately, he was a victim of the music business as well. It was only recently that his wife has actually started collecting some of the royalties for the songs that he wrote, because he signed a deal before he knew what he was doing, and the rest is history, you know.
Well, at least that's good for the rest of us to learn from.
Yeah.
Now, songwriting, you write your own songs,
That's
don't
it.
you?
I moved here to be a songwriter.
That is
Absolutely.
awesome.
So, and,
Who else here writes their own music? Yeah, everybody.
Right.
Everybody writes their good. Are you with ASCAP, BMI, your songwriter?
I'm with BMI.
BMI.
Yeah.
CSAC. Want to be don't play favorites here. That's good.
I got
Very
a question
important.
for the running. What's you all style of music?
It's an infusion of rock, reggae, and blues. Honestly, we kind of like blur the word genre. We don't stop ourselves saying, oh, that's too like this.
Right.
It's too reggae. It's too rock. No, if it sounds good and people like it or we like it, and it's all
music.
Yeah, it's music.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We don't label ourselves like you go to a show and say it's like, oh, that's an emo band, and they stay within that realm, and that's cool if you want to do that. That's just not what we do. We like to blur it all up and change it up. Like from one song to another, you might think it's two different bands, but at the same time, it's good music, and that's what
It just rocks. I mean, we said that before. We coined the phrase, it rocks.
Well, it's all rock orientation because of the instrumentation. I mean, you got drums, bass, and guitar. I mean, no matter what, whatever you're gonna do, it's still rock.
How'd you get your name?
We went through about 60 names. I mean, within like 2 weeks, we're like, we need, because like when we got together last year, we had a gig coming up, and we're like, well, we gotta name ourselves, right? And then for like 2 weeks, we were tossing ideas left and right, and the running just stuck.
The running.
The running.
You just took off running.
We took off running, and it's like wanting people to also, like, at our shows, people like to dance, people like to get into it. It's not like you're in a room where everyone's on the wall watching. It's not a movie theater. We want people to get into it and enjoy themselves while they're here. And, and that's what it's all about, having a good time.
How is your crowd?
Our crowd? Oh,
Yeah.
they're wild. You'll see
I've
them
heard,
tonight.
so I'd like you to tell me.
Definitely. They like to get up on stage every once in a while, and dance.
You encourage them to get on stage with you?
Of course. It's great,
Sweet.
As long as everybody's having a great time, That's what it's all about, really.
All right, everybody listening, get up on stage with the running.
Definitely.
Here's a good one. What is the largest crowd you all have performed in front of?
So it's about 300, anywhere in that. We've done. Actually, we've been very fortunate. I'd like to thank our crowd right now, if anyone's here from them. But at the last, I think since October, we haven't done a show under 100 people.
Okay.
So and we did a show up here in Nashville on a weekly basis on a Wednesday night. Who goes out on a Wednesday night? Come on, raise your hand.
Yes.
Wednesday night?
Yes.
On a Wednesday night, do you go out and drink and party like it's a Saturday?
Wow.
Our crowd came out every week and showed what's up, like who runs it, and it's like, And it's just really nice. I mean, again, thank you, the crowd. Thank you for coming out. And as new faces, you know, that's what's big for us. We don't mind. We'll play a gig as long as there's a new face there and that can, you know, we can reach them. You know, because I don't know how many times we played a gig and at the end of the gig, you know, there's half the crowd's like, wow, you know, and it's nice. I mean, I'm not trying to be, you know, arrogant or anything, but it's really nice when you can.
You're a rock star. You can do that.
I know, of course, but it's nice. It's just. It's nice that you know, having people just getting into what original music. There's so many, you know how hard it is for us because everywhere is cover band. You don't do covers, you're not playing here. Right. And we had to go that uphill battle like over and over again until we.
That's why we throw funny covers in. So I mean, like, you know, we'll make you laugh with some of the covers we do.
You just make them your own.
Exactly. We'll do covers that you would not expect for them to be covers, but everyone knows them. And actually, later on in the show, you'll definitely know exactly what we're talking about if you don't know what we're talking about right now.
Oh, we will.
Oh, you will.
Oh, you will.
100%.
You all will. You just wait.
I need a marshmallow.
Exactly.
Need a marshmallow?
Yeah.
Does anybody else want a marshmallow? You do? Okay.
I got some tongs.
There you go. Yes, we eat the marshmallows for real.
Stuck it on the fire, man. Ain't you see?
Yes, we do.
Where's
I
the
even
fire
put some
pit,
on the
man?
tables for everybody else
You're not
out there.
playing.
I
You
just
can come
burned
over
my
and heat it
marshmallow.
up if you'd like. Sharif, you're on my cord, dude. Thanks. You're being too quiet. I want to hear about what's going on with you. Come on now. Come on. Tell me what's going on.
With what? I mean,
Performing in music.
I've been kind of painting houses for the past couple weeks.
Do you sing while you're painting your houses?
I do. People think I'm crazy.
Talk about that. Talk about being a musician and having to support your career. There's a lot of musicians, singer-songwriters out there who have their love and passion, which is their music, singing, songwriting, and then they have to go to work, and they have to work really hard to make a living because, and I'm not going to say people are ripping off music, it's just that it's really hard to cultivate being a musician.
Well, I've been doing this for 15 years, and when I first started, music was in my blood, so I was going to do it regardless, and I have so many horror stories that I went through, but all in all, it just makes sense when I step on the stage or I get a fan to buy an album or I come to my shows and they're singing the music. But it is very difficult because the industry, they think they know what they're doing, and actually it's kind of sick now when if you're over 16 then you can't really even get a record deal. But I thought, to me, back old school, like Stevie Wonder, Stevie Nicks, Michael Hedges, just a bunch of people, the Eagles, they really had something that they were singing about,
I'm sorry, were they 16? Oh.
No.
Did they have implants?
No.
Oh. How did they make it?
They went around the block like 4 or 5 times with labels, but I think the thing is that what the labels want today is crazy, and it's made it very hard for the common musician just to do anything. You can have the greatest stuff in the world, but now they just look at, okay, well, what do you look like? And that's crap.
Has anybody here around the Firepit gone through that? Yeah, pretty much.
I've been doing this for 15 years, and I've been around the block. I'm on my 6th time around the block, and they say, you got a great look. We love your music. And I'm like, all right, what's going on, But, I was really bitter for a lot of years. But then I just was like, this is part of the game. This is what it is. If either you're going to do it or you're not going to do it. Either you're going to do it and you can sit and cry about it, or you can hone your craft. So I've just been honing my craft and been playing gigs. And you got to determine what is, success. Like we were talking.
How do you measure your level of success?
You were like, do you want billions of dollars, or do you want fans and people? You really want to touch people with what you're saying? And you know what? You look at some of these artists now, like I'm just gonna say a couple of artists. Like, does anybody remember Hootie and the Blowfish?
Yeah.
Okay, now let me tell you something. That was one of those things where they hit, right? 20 million albums right out the box. Have you heard them later today?
Burger King.
They can't even get anybody to pay them. You know where they're played at?
Burger King.
South Carolina, or Burger King. Britney Spears. She was on top. She's made the most money as a female artist, but look at her. I mean,
cut her hair.
Yeah, well, you know how much pressure. I mean, that's scary for me as an artist to fill out arenas, and then all of a sudden you can't get anybody to play you on the radio. Nobody respects you, and then you can't fill out arenas, you know? I mean, when I was growing up, I was looking at James Taylor. I was looking at all these cats, and they're like 50s and 60s, and you can't even get in. The police are getting back together, and you can't even buy tickets for that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what it is? I think success is measured by, daggone it, if it's in your blood and you're gonna do it. Whether there's one person in the crowd, whether there's 300,000 people in the crowd, because this is music. And you know what? It doesn't take a record deal, you know, to determine who you are. I know as musicians we'd like to eat more than once a week. You know what I'm saying? But I think that, you know what, we're a family, and this is what Firepit Friday does, and come together with the independent artists and to do this. Now, don't get me wrong. The machine, it is a monster, and we battle it, but you need to learn how to use the machine to your advantage.
That's right.
The machine it is what it is, but, you know, you can work with it and use it to your advantage because it is a great marketing tool. You can get out there fast, they can back you, but don't let it be the end-all means to what you're doing. You know, I think success, you know what I'm saying? You're grinding it, you're doing it.
Yeah.
You're you know, you've got a family and you're out there and you're doing it. And you know, success, you know, that's what I think success is, when we get up on the stage and we do it. Whether people listen or they don't, we're doing it. Whether we have $1 million or whether we live in a box, we're doing it. And I think that is the success of, you know, the measure of success.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Do you think being on top like that, a lot of artists lose focus of where they come from, and that's where the whole downfall begins?
Nah, you know, success, we are who we are. And if you get a lot of money and success, it's just a longer extension of who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you get more money, if, you know, there's some people that hold on to it, well, they hold on to things when they don't have money too. So I just think that's the way that the people are. And all that pressure just exudes all that stuff out, and you really see, you know, who people are. So that's just success is just a larger extension. You see some people like you too, Bono. He's got his success, but look what he's doing with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that was already him.
Certain people like Bono are the exception.
Yeah.
You know, because if you give back, I think the more that you give back is the more respect that you get, the more appreciative people start looking at you.
Man, it really comes to a point, man. Music is so powerful, and it's not just about singing songs, man. When I write, I want to touch somebody. I want to heal somebody. I want to take somebody up from what they are. Now, don't get me wrong about writing, but the music today, we are in a world where there's a lot of stuff going on. And the music that we have today, people are jumping out of buildings, but music is so powerful. And we're underestimating music, and everything that's on the radio right now is just like a musical Ethiopia.
It's something to take our minds off the other.
Can imagine no music.
Yeah, just imagine.
No music.
None.
It couldn't happen.
Okay, let's everybody be really quiet for 1 second and imagine for one moment there's no music. No, really. Really, I just for 1 second, just imagine there's no music. Because we can't afford to make it, and you find it anywhere, because we're just not going to do it anymore. That sucks. And that's terrible. And it's just, what kind of music do you want to listen to will all depend on what? Somebody else telling you should listen to it?
If it comes from the heart, you know, not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that there can't be fun music. Don't get me wrong. But you know, when you just look on TV right now? How many times can you talk about pimping 20s and have some, or how many times can you be angry and just, what are you saying? That's all I'm saying. Because back in the day, they had something to say and it was fun. The Beatles, just everybody, they had something to say. They had fun tunes, but they were saying something, and it was a movement that was going on.
That's all I was saying. It's something to take your mind off of what's really going on, which is not always a good thing. Every once in a while you want to get your mind off of the big picture or whatever, but not all the time. And with music, like you were saying, the old days they were really saying something, and that's really the music that hits you right there.
Well, I think all music hits you just as long as it's pure and it's, you know what I'm saying? It's real. It's about something, because there was tons of fun music back in the day, and there is. I'm not saying there's a lot of great music now, but it's all underground.
I like disco.
Well, the thing is, right now, is the means of getting.
I'm in love with Barry Gibb.
Who isn't?
No, I really am. I think he's hot. I think he lives in town too, so I'm thinking about maybe stalking him. No, but I just think I like the Bee Gees a lot. Seriously, and do you think
Have
that
you ever heard
song
their
with
old
meaning?
stuff?
Do you think those were songs with meaning?
But have you ever listened to their stuff before the disco era?
Staying alive, staying alive.
No, before that. Have you listened to their stuff before that?
I'm serious.
I'm serious.
Okay, before that.
Did you listen to the Bee Gees before they were like the Bee Gees of the disco
how
era?
Can you, man?
Yeah, but before.
This broken heart. Yeah, okay, so they did have meaning.
Yeah, well, before that they sounded like the Beatles, and then of course, as time changes, people change. Everything evolves. Right now you might write a certain style of music about something, but 20 years down the road you might write about something else. You know what I mean? So
you are
I think if you can evolve with the times and still stay true to yourself, then there should then it's up to the fans to accept it or reject it. You know what I mean? It's like you put your heart out on the line, just like in a relationship, just like in music, like in anything. Right. You put your heart out there, and you hope, at the end of the day, that you're happy with yourself. That's what matters. You know what I mean? If you're happy with yourself, and at the same time you can influence other people in a good way or a bad way, or I don't know, it depends on the person.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's right.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter either way.
Either way,
But you know what? The people don't care if you're a supermodel or not. They do not care. All they want is to be taken away, and that's our responsibility as musicians, to not just entertain, but music is such a powerful thing, you know what I'm saying? And it's our responsibility.
Escape. And you know what? That's why musicians get into so much trouble, because we're constantly escaping.
Oh, yeah.
No, we don't need to think about bills. But no, we're helping people escape from the regular, everyday headache of life.
Well, it's the same thing like you say in movies. Why do people watch movies? To get away. It's a fantasy element. Why do you watch Lord of the Rings or any other kind of any movie, like, from comedy all the way up to whatever?
Creative people are important.
Well, no, it's all the same realm. From a visual aspect, why do people do videos? From a visual aspect, you might have a meaning that you want to show people. Yeah. And same thing with audio. How many people sit there with their headphones and just like escape and go away with it and put that album in, and it's just between you and the album and no one else. Nothing else matters. That's what's beautiful. It's like when you can put that song and it just touches you, it's no better feeling in the world.
Oh, what I'd like to know, I've been a Metallica fan since little bitty.
Who hasn't?
Exactly. Well, I noticed something that happened with them as they got older. They changed. And what happened with a lot of their fans the moment they changed? Oh, they've sold out. Oh, they're this, they're that. How do y'all feel about that? Because you got to get tired of playing the same thing over and over and want to do something different.
Are you talking like the Stones or the Beatles?
No,
or
Metallica.
Metallica?
Yeah!
Metallica.
Ooh, yeah! Little something like that. But when they went from this straight thrash to kind of a more rhythmic style, everybody felt like they've been sold out.
No, I think
got old.
They would sell out if they're doing like, buy Pepsodent.
Yeah! Pepto-Bismol!
This is Metallica coming at you.
Right on.
No.
I think that most people today, like you were saying earlier, that most people, when they become famous or whatever, they pretty much don't do what they like. They do what actually going to sell records. You know what I mean? And music today is mostly about glam and glitter, And like you said, back in the day, it was mostly, it had a meaning. I remember, my dad, listened to a lot of old school stuff,
and I was brought up on that. But most music today, I mean, you can take rap from back in the day that actually has something to say. But you listen to it now, and it's like, yeah, who got the most money or the most rims, or I mean, it's just come to a point where it's like just a big exaggeration. You know what I mean? And it's scary.
On top of that, though, there's some rap artists that actually have like lyrical skills. Like
yeah.
Like, all right, like
Jurassic 5.
Twista.
Common.
Oh.
I mean, which are actually good artists.
Most
Def.
Def.
I love Most Def. I love Most Def.
Notorious B.I.G. I mean, New York, baby.
Which I think Most Def is probably the only rapper that actually turned into a good actor. You know what I mean? I mean, he actually turned into a good actor.
But I don't think if you take this is what I see. You can take people like Fantasia and who else is hot out there? Keisha Cole, and give me another one. Another young artist. Anyway. But if you take those three artists and you put them up against like a Gladys Knight, Anita Baker,
it's gonna be hard to contend,
man.
man.
That show will sell out before those shows.
It would be hard to contend.
There is no. I don't think there isn't any longevity
and
with
I
the
understand
artists
where you're
these
coming
days.
from, because it seems like more now that we had respect for artists then, and now the artists that you see is more
It totally became
the glamour.
a money thing now.
Yeah,
it's
that's
not
all it
about.
is.
It's not about. I'm telling you, it's ruining lives actually, because it's like a cookie cutter. It's get them while they're young, use them, and throw them away.
You'll sell your
make your
soul
first
to
20
get a
million.
record deal.
Boom, next comes in. Boom, next comes in.
Yeah.
And
Okay, so do people really want that? How many people out there really want that?
How many?
Who hates American Idol?
I think people today, they want substance.
You know why I'm so excited? Because the industry is going after 25% of the pie. So there's 75% of people who are starving. And I'm excited about that. Because I'm going to get the 75 and the 25 and
There
get
you
100.
go. There you go.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, the industry thinks that the people are cattle. It's amazing. They think that people are stupid and they actually want to see this, but these people just want music. They don't care if you're short, if you're tall, if you're fat, if you're skinny, if you're black, if you're red, if you're from Austria. They don't care.
Barry Gibb.
They just want good music. They want to pay, what, $200?
To see a good
That's why
show.
ticket sales at concerts have gone down, because they're paying all this money and the people can't play their instruments. And they're like, what are they singing? How about back in the day, when you went to a concert and the band sounded better than the album every single time?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's hard to find
And
nowadays.
we're doing that. We're underground. We're doing that. But who's getting paid? The labels are. But what's happening? They're crumbling and they're starting to fall. And I'm telling you, there's a revolution on the horizon, because when it all falls and fades away, we're going to be sitting right there like, okay, y'all want some music? Buffet's open. What you want? You want
gonna
reggae
give it to
or
you.
Like tonight.
Firepit Friday.
No, seriously, like tonight. Real music. Tonight. All right. Where can people get your real music? Where can they go to get your music?
Yeah, as much as I hate to say it, MySpace. There's a lot of cool stuff on MySpace. Or you know what? Honestly, you're in Nashville, and those of you that live here, I want to say that there is no place better than Nashville. I'm sorry. I've been to LA, I've been to New York, I've been all over, and Nashville is just so hot with musicians. I mean,
it's Music City.
They're everywhere. They're working. They're
Music
serving
City.
you food, and not just I can play a song or two, but sick musicians and writers, and it's just talk to somebody. If you're in Nashville, talk to somebody. You go out, hey, what's cool? What's the cool thing? There's a lot of I gotta say, MySpace is pretty much the king for finding independent artists. And let me tell you, there are so many phenomenal artists on MySpace, from rap to rock to everything, and it's just phenomenal. But there's a revolution happening, and that's why I'm excited, because everything ciphers. And all this stuff that's going on right now, it's the people we need. There's going to be an explosion. The labels are crumbling. They're already scared, and we're going to be there, man.
I mean, what about Tower going down? Now all you pretty much can get a CDs at Walmart. I mean, besides Walmart and Target and Best
no.
Buy, let's see. I can't even get my finger across how many places I can buy music. So guess what? Thanks to MySpace, thanks to all these other places where we can reach the fans directly. You know what I mean? That's huge. That is so huge. Before, you'd have to go out with 1 million posters and spend thousands of hours to reach 2 people. Now I can reach 100,000 people in no time.
Everybody say hi to Tom.
Or you can get Abby. She'll do all that.
What's up, Tom?
Or Abby.
Yes. Abby will hook it up.
Abby will hook you up. Abby's on
definitely.
everybody's MySpace. Well, just like Tom, but he doesn't count.
He's not
that
my top
much
friend,
right
though.
now,
He can
right?
stay
He's not in
somewhere.
Nashville. Tom, come on over to Nashville.
What does everyone think about the new 5th song on MySpace, huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's like I got 5. It's like I got half my album online. Now you don't have to buy my stuff. You can go on there for free. Thanks. Thanks,
No,
Tom.
you don't want that.
Thanks, Tom.
You don't want that. A little preview, a little taste. Yeah. Thanks, Tom. So what are you playing tonight, you guys? You're going to be playing top of your album. What your new album?
Actually,
Okay.
we have an EP, but we're kind of circling the idea of what direction we want to go with the album. But we have somewhere along the lines of 22 original songs. So we're definitely going to bring out some of our bag of tricks and make sure if you like to dance, if you like to rock, if you like to just stand there, hey, we'll try to reach you somehow. Throughout the night, I'm sure one of these artists will touch everybody in here, and that's what's beautiful. You know what I mean? That it's like how many times you do a show with like the same sound, and it's like you're hearing a broken record. And guess what? If that one fan that comes in there that doesn't like that style of music, he's screwed. But tonight, you might like folk and Irish music, you might like jazz, and every other style that we're gonna present tonight, and that's awesome.
Eclectic.
Thanks to Firepit Friday.
It's a great band name, by the way.
Thanks to Firepit Friday.
We appreciate that. Nice plug.
You know what? Let's give it up to everybody who's here supporting the eclectic crowd. Everybody, we're gonna thank you. Thank you for coming. You know what? Let's let everybody know where they can reach you, and then let's play some serious, all-around, fantastic music tonight. All right? So, Sharif, we're gonna start off actually listening to you first tonight, correct? Or is it Turk? It's Turk tonight. So Turk is first. Turk, where can everybody go visit you?
Oh, the best place would be MySpace. MySpace.com/Turk McNamara. And we also have one up for the website up for the Irish band. It's called Nosy Flynn.
Nosy Flynn?
Yeah, who's a character in Ulysses by James Joyce. When the folks walk into the pub, the guy sitting at the bar is Nosy Flynn, and we figure so many people walk into the pub and we're sitting at the bar, we might as well call ourselves Nosy Flynn. So
do you have any?
NosyFlynn.net. We have Irish CDs open for that. Only 359 more days to St. Patrick's Day, so get the CDs while you can. We're running out of time.
I love the calendar on you. It's like a mental calendar. 359 days and 12 hours and 32
It is. I've got the nuclear clock running in my head at all times.
This guy's Irish.
Do you have a limerick for us, Turk?
Not on this podcast.
None.
No, ma'am. I should have done it when we all stood up and swore our worst swear word at the beginning of the night. No, I'll tell you later.
Stop kissing the shillelagh.
That's it.
I have no idea. I don't know. I'm a little Irish. Sorry. Okay. Sharif, where can people meet you? Go to you.
Oh, yeah. You can hit me up on MySpace as well. Yeah, that's pretty much how I do things. MySpace. Sharif Iman, SHARIFIMAN. That's me. Come visit me, check it out, see if you like it. Taylor, you're late. You're supposed to be up here, dude. Another great singer-songwriter over there, Taylor Bates. He's going to be up here soon, y'all. Awesome. Check him out. He's on my top in my MySpace. Please go and check him out as well.
See that? Supporting friends and networking. That's what it's really about. And I think here, getting to know one another, networking, and kind of giving back to each other, if we stick together, like Sharif said, the revolution will happen. People will listen, and we'll be there to help each other. All right, the running. Where can you be reached?
Let's be a broken record. MySpace.
MySpace.
Yeah, MySpace.
MySpace.
Yeah, all right. It's MySpace. .com/ whatever. The Running Band. The Running Band. So you go do that. Also, we're actually going to be, we're playing here tonight. That's awesome. That's Firepit Friday. Thank you. Thank you for having us. Thank you, everybody. It was nice meeting everybody. It's nice to know there's an eclectic mix of musicians everywhere. You know what I mean? Who's to say that today I was going to sit next to someone that does folk and traditional Irish music and etc. And you know what I mean? It's awesome. But also, we're going to be playing here next Friday, actually. And then we have a really big gig. It's at Exit Inn on April 20th. Everyone, 420. All right, this guy's on the same page, but all right, yeah, but all right, Wally. All right, so all right, so on 420 we're playing Exit In. I would appreciate if everyone came in. We're actually doing this thing called Emergenza. It's a global battle of the bands.
Been there, done it.
And we got past the first round thanks to our fans, and we need to do it again, and then the third round's in City Hall. But so April 20th, everyone needs to come on out.
Very good.
Thank you. And we're The Running, myspace.com/The Running Band.
Could I make one more plug real quick before we get going? Every Sunday evening, if you want to hear traditional Irish music too, we play over at Dan McGuinness out there on the patio. And it's myself and Josh Kelly, who plays bouzouki and wood flute and tin whistle and accordion and Irish drum, and David Coe, who's going to be joining me this evening when he's in town, plays fiddle and mandolin. And then a bouzouki, it's like an octave mandolin. It's easier to say than to spell. And then Wednesday nights over there, the first 3 Wednesdays, we've started up what's called Writers on the Road. And if you've been to Dan McGuinness, you can't get any closer to Music Row. And you get 40 minutes. And I have 3 writers that come in, and I give you a full set. And I'll get up and start.
Sunday night?
Wednesday nights for Writers on the Row, and then Sunday nights for Irish music.
What night is $5 fish and chips?
Thursday.
Thursday, okay. Never mind.
Yeah.
I'm there.
Yeah, you bet.
You about ready?
I'm ready to make some music. Are you
Let's
all
do it.
ready to make some music? Thanks for sitting around the fire pit. I hope that walking away tonight that you got to meet another side of your artist or a new artist you may have never met before. These are real people doing real music, and sitting around the fire pit, you really get to know them a little bit deeper. So thank you everybody for coming tonight, okay?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's s'more time.